Thank you very much, you two. Welcome to the LEC post-game lobby where I'm joined by GB and Yike. Yike, thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on taking down SK today. BB was giving you a shout out saying that you played well. Of course, you heard this. Not get too cocky. Anything to say about
that habit
this?
of yours?
Does that happen? You don't strike me as the kind of guy who gets cocky.
I guess
Maybe I'm wrong.
when we hang out in real life, I could be a bit cocky when we play solo queue or something, especially when we play with or against each other. Because right now, I guess, I'm spamming a lot of Bel'Veth in solo queue, and
Nice.
I played it now as well, and it went pretty good, I think, besides the first blood. And I mean, when I win a lot, like in solo queue, I'm like, I can get really cocky.
All right, solo queue madness, solo queue shenanigans, of course, it makes sense. But GB, we were talking about G2 resetting the mindset, going for a more traditional approach in game 1. And this is what they throw us in game 2.
I mean, I was so happy. I was saying this to beforehand when we went live as well. Like, where had this been all along? I've been missing this. I loved what I saw in winter, and then in spring, it was a lot more facilitating. How did it feel being back on the Bel'Veth as well?
Yeah, for me it feels really nice. I mean, this is like one of my favorite champions in the game, and I feel like I can play her really well. So it always feels good when I can get the carry champs and when I can just, I guess, take over the games, because my team also likes to play around me sometimes. So it feels really nice when I can carry games.
Yeah, and I know I think you've been tweeting recently the fact that you wanted to play some of your pocket picks and the picks that you like the most. So I think Bel'Veth falls onto this category.
Yes.
But I think we should create a cooking book, Cooking with G2. Tell me about the recipe for this draft and how you came up with it. Nilah especially, it's not a champion we see often in the league.
Yeah, so I mean, the Bel'Veth pick was just me. The team was asking me if I wanted to play Bel'Veth, and I was just saying yes. They just asked me, do you want to go Bel'Veth? I said, yeah, sure. And I went
Because it was on 2 already as well.
Yeah, I know, but they also went Viego on 2. So I was like, okay, I'm going to match that. I'm going to do the same, but with Bel'Veth. So that was really nice. And then, I don't remember, when did we go Nilah? In 3?
No,
or 4?
Yeah,
No,
3.
4.
Was it?
Nilah on 4?
4, I think.
Okay,
No,
right.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't remember.
We'll
But
get to this
I mean,
yeah.
Nilah is a champion that we also is a pocket pick for hands, and we practice it a
Nice.
lot. And I think we play really well with the Nilah. And we play Nilah Senna this time, but I think we have a lot of combos with the Nilah, so I'm not leaking any combos. But we have a lot of combos, and I think we are cooking a lot right now.
Nice. Sometimes burning the kitchen, sometimes it works. GB, take on this draft, Nilah, Senna, 2 champions that we don't often see. What's your take on what G2 pull here? And how often can we expect to see this champion?
I think I resonate more with what Dylan said in the interview earlier as well. The fact that we have all these drafts, but it's really about finding out when is this draft the correct draft to pull out, and not just play it because you know you can play it, but play it into the context of your opponent. I think a lot of people make the mistake, not in the G2 fashion, but let's talk about B1 Vi, right? When Saya can be open or Sivir can be open, all these options where you actually just shoot yourself in the foot by doing this. It's about drafting with intent. And I feel like we saw a bit more of that here as well. So I thought it was quite nice. I think a lot of people underestimate Nilah quite often,
I agree.
specifically in a 2v2 scenario, because they think they get the kill. All of a sudden, you can actually hit her with auto attacks, and then they get the kill, and then boom.
Yeah, an amazing champion. I hope we can see it a bit more. Focusing on last week and how you guys bounced back, Dylan was saying that it was not a bad draft per se. It came down to the execution rather, and how you played out the early game. How did you prep for this week, knowing that last week didn't go so well? Because also we had Larson in PGL saying that teams are catching up to G2, and things that they could do in the past and get away with, they can't anymore. So how did you come back from last week, and what do you think of teams thinking that they're catching up on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think last week, I guess we were underrating like other teams, because we were really confident. I think we were really confident, and I think we showed that in the game 1 when we like played really well, really clean. But game 2 we made some mistakes, and the game became hard. And then game 3 was like just a hard game overall. So we were a bit sad with the result. Like, we really thought we were going to win that series, so it felt really bad for us. And I think this week has been really good for us. I think we tried to, I guess, change up the drafts that we did. I think we had a lot of drafts in mind, and maybe that's like too much for us. I think we want to try to narrow it down and make it like, so we have like maybe 4 or 5 drafts that we can play, and that's much easier for everyone, and like for the team and for me as well. And I can play Bel'Veth. So I'm good. I'm happy.
It all just comes down to that Bel'Veth.
Give Bel'Veth to Yike. You will have a happy player, of course. You'll get the rematch against Koi. Once again, that's the story we'll dive into a bit later. But you guys winning today means that SK is eliminated alongside Fnatic. GB, we say goodbye to this team. We will see them again in summer. How could we reflect on their season so far? Of course, Fnatic made it to the group stage this time around, but I'm not sure we saw the improvements we were looking for on the side of SK especially.
Yeah, I think for SK specifically as a team, they're probably going into the break feeling a bit regretful.
Yeah.
But luckily for them, they have a lot of time to reflect on a lot of their regrets, on the kind of systems that they need to set in place, and also maybe refine their identity, because they were really scary in winter, and then in spring, they kind of fell down a little bit. I think for Fnatic, it was a story about a team that built itself up.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, after that game 3 versus Mad Lions today, we could have said that it was maybe Fnatic that was going on ahead. Mad Lions was the team we were going to be talking about now. It's about that building process. And I think with the week 1 that Fnatic came in with and the results they have now, of course, they're not happy in the grand scheme of things, but it's way better than what we saw then.
Definitely. A lot of time to reset. Also, maybe too much time. We'll dive into the format maybe another time. But this game 3, as you said, was a classic fiesta. Carzzy got 19 kills, which was the most kills in a single game in LEC history. I didn't expect such a bloody game. I don't know if you've been able to watch the series.
We
Yike?
watched the game.
Okay.
Everyone was screaming when we watched the game. It was really crazy. I feel really bad for Fnatic because losing a game like that must feel really awful. And especially knowing that they're eliminated after that. So I feel really bad for them, and I hope it will go better for them for summer.
Yeah. And on the other side, SK that you were facing had 2 of your previous teammates in the likes of SK and Exakik. How was it for you facing off against them? Does it mean anything special to you?
It felt really bad to win. I mean, it doesn't feel bad to win, but it felt really bad to win versus Exakik and DOS because they're my old teammates. I played with them for 1 year, and I really like them. Like, they're such good persons, and I would have hoped that we would not eliminate them. I would have hoped they would be on the other side or play versus another team because, yeah, it always feels bad to win versus all teammates.
Similar question to the one I asked to Guldborg. What kind of improvements can you expect from SK and from Fnatic coming into summer? Of course, they have 2.5 months, I think, to reset everything. Maybe rearrange the lineups if they want to. Yeah, but hopes for these 2 lineups on your side, Yike.
I think Fnatic was on a good way to become, I guess, better than last, like in winter. And I don't know what happened in the end, but I think they had the momentum in the regular split for sure. And in the best of 3s, maybe they lost them a bit, but you could see the potential in them. I think they're actually a good team, and they can for sure get further than top 7, 8 that they ended up in now. And I think same with SK. I think they played really good in winter. Like, they were one of the best teams, in my opinion. I was actually scared to play versus them the most, maybe. And that's why it feels bad for them as well to end 7, 8. So I think they deserve like higher. I don't know what's happening for them right now. Maybe it's just like some inside stuff happening, so can't really tell, but I know they're like all talented players.
It's really hard to tell. Hopefully they will have enough time to reset and be ready for summer split. But moving forward with the teams we have left, tomorrow we have more League of Legends and best of 3 as Astralis and Mad Lions will face off in the first game, and Koi versus G2. Again, it's becoming a classic in the LEC. Any first thoughts on going up against Koi again?
Yeah,
after what happened last week?
I think everyone in the team really wants to beat Koi now after we lost to them. I think that's all we've been thinking about since we lost to them. Like, not to disrespect SK, but we only thought about Koi mostly, at least me, because it felt really, really bad for me to lose to them because I thought we should have won. And it's going to be really fun to play against them now again. And I think we'll play much better.
Astralis versus Mad. I know that Leader was tweeting earlier that this would be a clean game. I think something along those lines. But when I see Mad Lion going up against this team, I'm like, it's going to be a bloodbath once again, I think.
Yeah, but is it even a hot take saying that Astralis is coming into as favorites tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Astralis are favorites going up against Mad Lions, and watching today's series didn't necessarily make me more confident in Mad Lions either. Yes, Astralis is by no means a perfect team, but if you're going to answer aggression with aggression like we saw today versus a player like Leader who might ping in Aurelia, you get like an explosive matchup where he just gets ahead. All of a sudden, that might be quite dicey to play. So I think Mad Lion versus Astralis is for sure bang 'em. I think Astralis is favorites.
Would you agree on this? I'm wondering if teams still underestimate Astralis or if we're happy.
Well, we overestimate them.
Yeah, I don't think people underestimate them anymore. I think they've shown that they're a really good team. I think they're all talented players, and yeah, it's gonna be actually gonna be a big bloodbath, that game. I think Mad Lions or Astralis are the two most crazy team, I guess, and they will for sure make it like big fiestas. So that's gonna be fun to watch at least.
A banger to watch for sure. Quick reminder on the championship points that we have, because a lot of you guys online were a bit confused, as we are sometimes, to be honest here. If G2 wins spring, our second MSI seed will be decided by championship points. And championship points for the update here, Mad Lions are now ahead of Vitality, but if Vitality reach finals, they would be at 150. So we're basically rooting for Vitality if we want to have more at stake here, I guess.
Or praying for the downfall of G2.
No.
Not saying that we're doing that, but I'm just saying if you accidentally lose, then winning that title suddenly seems very interesting.
We can't say that when we have Yike here.
I said, it was just like, I'm not saying it, I'm just, putting it out there.
All right,
It's fine, it's fine.
I'm not praying on the downfall of you. I'm rooting.
Yeah, we like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you do good.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you have a series to play tomorrow. On that note, we will wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Congrats on taking down SK once again. GB, you rock. You're amazing. I'll see you again.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing. You're all amazing. That concludes today on the LEC. We will be back tomorrow for the final day of the group stage. Stay tuned. Take care. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. That was a bit messy, but it's fine. I don't know.